Wiggins to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is what this bill is the office allowance for our judges in the state. It also applies to, excuse me, the staff that the judges utilize. And the the bill that's before you on lines 22 to 24, that's raising the amount from 9,000 to 15,000. And then in subsection 5, starting at line 59, the total amount that is presently in place is 80,000 split between law clerks and other staff. And in Judd A, it was accepted as 100,000. And what we're saying is they can use that money without that, I guess, limitation. They can use it how they see fit. Let's see. And then that's what the bill does. Be happy for any questions.
Questions? Anybody have questions?
Title sufficient, do pass.
On the motion is title sufficient, do pass. Strike all.
Strike all.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And the last bill we got is House Bill 529. Sorry that we don't have someone from the originating committee because they're meeting right now to explain it. And I want to do the best I can on this. And if other members of Judd B know all the details, I know some of them, but there are a few things in here that I'm not sure about. And there are actually a few things in here that I may want to amend when we get to the floor if possible. But the first, and I would say primary part of the bill is as it relates to funds that are payable to law enforcement that are killed in the line of duty. They would get paid $110,000. The additional 10,000 would be included, and I'm trying to remember which fund this comes from. I'll find that out. The Death Benefit Trust Fund. Thank you, Corbin. The second part is on line 154, deleting the word only. So money in the uninsured motorist identification fund, it's not required to be used for defraying expenses and costs for the motor vehicle insurance verification system. Page 10, line 235 is exempting the records on uninsured motorist coverage from the Mississippi Public Records Act. Line 310, this is the attempt, and my apologies, members of the committee, the attempt to include that the center will work to secure grant funds to purchase live scan equipment to be utilized throughout the state. Law enforcement agencies shall utilize any live scan equipment provided by the center to ensure the most accurate collection of fingerprints. Center shall coordinate the use of the equipment, federal, state, county, municipal law enforcement agencies. This next change would be lines 431 and following. And this deals with the county kiosks. I've got some concern. I'll get with the commissioner about this. If this bill makes it out of committee and off the floor, actually, I want to get this clarified before we get to the floor, but about the computer. I know there's an attempt to get computers for driver's license bureaus in each county. And I've got a couple of questions about that. Just trying to keep this alive for right now, folks, and as you can probably tell. And then finally, on line 694, this deals with what was the language about mailing notices, and this is just replaces mail with send. Each licensee a written notice of expiration renewal form, so it doesn't have to be mailed. That's essentially the changes that we have in the law. I will try my best to yield to questions, or if anybody else in Judd B is more familiar. I know there's some things I want to keep alive in this bill, but if you have questions, I'll be happy to try to get those, or maybe get the commissioner up here if we've got specific questions for him. Senator Delano, you're recognized.
And I know this is not going to be a fair question for you, Mr. Chairman. So along those lines of questions that you're going to find out before you go on the floor, I know that you spoke about in lines 310 through 316 about live scan equipment, and it says it's for fingerprints. Now, I'm not reading through all of this, but I know that there's been some discussion about live scan, like as in cameras. And I know that there's cameras that are in use in other parts of the state, especially for insurance verification. And I was curious if this bill has anything to do with that, or is this, are we changing anything in state law that would impact the use or the non-use of those cameras?
Let's do this. Since we have the commissioner here, Commissioner, you're called up, my friend. It's time to come face the music. I'm just.
Senator, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Senator Delano, this language does not have anything to do with that, nor does the bill. This language was requested by the Criminal Information Center. They've applied for federal grants for live scans. As a condition of those grants, we have to ensure as a state that any local municipality that gets this live scan equipment actually uses it. It doesn't just sit in a corner and they don't keep using the ink rolls that they used years ago. So this is to ensure that if you get this grant, if you get this live scan equipment, you got to use it.
Commissioner, while you're there, can you go back over the information about since I don't know it like I should, but the county driver's license bureaus?
Sure. Provisions were put in the law about 20 years ago for the kiosk to be in every county seat that requested a kiosk. Kiosks are starting to phase their way out as far as technology. You're seeing less and less ATMs as folks are using cash apps and other devices like that. What we would like to do is be able to provide in every county courthouse a computer open to the public that has direct access to a DPS website, particularly the Driver Services Bureau website. And we could hopefully in the future have virtual examiners that could pop up in person and answer any questions they have. One of the complaints that we've gotten about online renewals and trying to expand our digital footprint is a lot of folks don't have internet access at home, don't have access to it or can't afford it, or don't have computers or mobile phones in order to renew online. So what we want to do is put these computers in each courthouse, make them accessible to the public so they can directly go to the Driver Services website and then renew their license online, essentially like you would do with a kiosk. We're actually one of, I think, 3 states that still give your driver's license out at stations. Most states have gone to central print where they mail it out to the individuals. So anybody using this computer to renew their license, just like they would at home, will receive their license in the mail a few weeks later. So it'll be a computer designated solely for driver services and those functions at the county courthouse, so that those that can't travel or don't have internet access would be able to use those functions.
Would there be someone that's stationed at the courthouses to help them, assist them in that process? Or is it going to be so easy that they can get on it and it's designated as a DPS or Driver's License Bureau website?
It should be that easy that they can get on there and do it just like you would do it on your home computer. But that's where the virtual examiner component comes up with it. And as you know, we've got a call center that we're trying to establish at a facility in Canton. And those folks that work at the call center would be able to communicate one-on-one, just like if you're having an issue with many online services now, you can go into a chat function or have a virtual person there to talk to you. And that's the goal. From a affordability standpoint, I don't know that we could afford to put a person at every single county courthouse and facilitate that across the state.
What else did I botch on the explanation that you want to clear up?
You didn't botch anything. I thought you did an excellent job, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But
Real, come on.
I think that you pretty much covered it. I'm looking back through the things we pointed to. Grant funding, the driver's license.
While you're looking, any other members have questions, specific questions on that? Senator McClendon, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When you stated the bill, you said this was for law enforcement. And in here, it says covered individuals also includes firefighters and volunteer firefighters. Are they covered in this as well?
Yes, but if I said law enforcement, that was a slip up, I suppose.
Okay, so
The
firemen.
portion about the payments. Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank you, thank you.
thank you, Senator McClendon. Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, did I hear you say you're going to be moving away from printing driver's license at the bureau, the specific locations?
That's the goal. Again, most states have gone to a central print. I don't have a timeline on that. One of the hangups we've had is they want to do a central print in Georgia and have it mailed from Georgia. And we've been pretty adamant if we're going to do it, we want a central print in Mississippi, not
So-
Georgia.
So if I come in, some people procrastinate, wait till the last day. If I come in that last day before my license expires, am I going to get something that shows that I've reapplied? So-
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what most states give out now. You basically get a receipt that's a license you can use in the interim until the actual license arrives.
Thank
I will point out one other thing, and we talked about the on gun permits. We took out the mail and we put in send. What we're trying to do there is we have to send out a notice by US mail 90 days in advance of a gun permit expiring. What we're wanting to do is ask folks to give us an email address. And if they'll allow us to use the email address, send the notice that way instead of paying US postage and mail to send out that notice.
Let me ask, and kind of further to Senator Blackwell's question, what I was imagining is something similar to what Wildlife and Fisheries and Parks does with their, with my annual sportsman's license. I actually get the temporary authorization number that I'll stick in my wallet, if I'm out hunting before the card comes in. And usually, actually, I think you get your temporary number, then you get the orange card, then you get your hard plastic card. So you can probably do the same thing, and it seems like that would be easy enough. But would you be able to do what I think they do, and that is I get a notification that time of year. They know when my hunting license is going to expire, so I get a notification saying we're renewing. Hop online, I think is what it does. Some of you others, if I remember correctly, every year they started that process, which is great for me because I might, I'm going to certainly look before I go hunting, but it's great for me just as a reminder. I know at that time of year, I'm going to get a notification. Would you be able to get that information so that your computer can just kick it out to someone and say, your driver's license is about to expire in 90 days, you need to renew?
We could set it up on automated email or if they give us their cell phone number, push alerts with your text. And we're utilizing the mobile ID now. And the mobile ID, when your license expires, you'll get push notifications that it's about to expire. But also with your firearm permit, once we get that on, we could use that to send push notifications that you need to renew your firearm permit.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? If not, Senator Polk, your motion is tied as sufficient, do pass, strike all. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. I'll entertain a motion to rise and report. All in favor, aye. No, the ayes have it. Thank you very much.